Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Stefan Salazar. I'm with the Wake Up Fix Solutions podcasting. So today I got Jorge. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself and what's going on? And also, where are we at right now?
Okay, so we are in San Francisco, the RSA Conference. There's like about maybe today they said over 40,000 people here. Again, my name is Jorge Avila. I'm with Paleo Tech Group. It's a small startup company, AI. We do workforce development and cybersecurity.
What was the reason for you to get into cybersecurity?
Actually, when COVID started, I needed a little change. So then I said, you know what? And looked into other opportunities, and cybersecurity just fit what I wanted to do. It is a opportunity where things are always changing, always evolving. There's always new things because there's always new threats. There's always opportunity. So that is sort of like learning process. I really like that. And that's how I got into cybersecurity, and I'm enjoying it.
And I know you mentioned about something that you're in business in cybersecurity or you're starting up a business. What was your motivation and inspiration about this?
I work for government and also private. My last government job, I was working for the California Department of Technology. I was a project director, and that was one of those points where I really wanted to change. I wanted something new. Startup seemed to be a great opportunity. AI, again, a tremendous opportunity to expand. So me and my partner got together. We said, you know what? Let's challenge ourselves. And we did a startup. It's doing well. It's been like about 2 years, but we're also evolving as well as a company. So now we're transitioning into a little bit more into cybersecurity and building our software.
And you building your platform, how do you feel about that?
My partner and I said, you know what, we really would like to look at things that we know and have done. So we went out and we said, you know what, based on what we know and what we have done 10, 20 years ago, I think we can use that knowledge with AI and build a platform that runs on a very thin client and be able to take advantage of what AI has to offer now. And so we did that. And then based on some of our knowledge, that's when we started to build our software.
If you don't mind me asking, what type of backgrounds do you have in cybersecurity or IT? Or I know you have a little bit of business side of it.
Right.
What was your inspiration? Which one was a more business side of it or more in the technical side of it?
You know, the business side, being an entrepreneur, really fascinated me. My dad was an entrepreneur, but I decided to go into school and then kind of went to traditional, get a job, work for somebody else. And then all of a sudden, like I said, when COVID hit, things, started to change. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to build a company myself that I would own and that I would be able to, sort of like put together and be able to foster that company and make it grow. And so now we're doing that. It's doing well enough for us to now continue on to the next step, which is that's when we created our platform and then we created our software as well.
And you just mentioned your parents or your dad has a business of entrepreneurship. And if you don't mind me asking, what type of entrepreneurship or what type of business did he have before?
Yeah, we're from Texas. My parents are from Mexico, and we were migrant farm workers. And so we would travel Utah, Idaho, California, and then head back. And my dad was always hustling, always trying to make our family better. So he did everything, lawn work, maintenance, janitorial, but he was always looking for him to build a business. And I think that kind of rubbed a little bit on me, so much that I said, you know what, before I continue on and maybe retire, I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to do that as well and then kind of build that. And like I said, that inspiration really helped me to build what I have right now.
That's awesome. I love that story because I think what your dad did before is pretty much what I'm doing right now. I came from well, I'm not a migrant worker, but my parents are. So I came in at I'm the first generation in business. So that my parents always pushed me to be like in business, like
Right.
looking
Right.
into business, looking to doing this, and that's always been my passion too. It's not something that they influenced me. It was something that I grew in a passion.
right.
And now I'm the first generation trying to do that too. So that's awesome, man. I love that. I love that. And now that you're also moving forward, I believe that what you're doing is not bad. You're trying to get back into the industry to fully understand the industry.
Right.
And that's what I'm pretty much doing. I had a computer and cell phone repair shop before. I had it for 7 years. I need to change it. I want to get into the real cybersecurity, the real IT. So I moved into that position.
Right.
So now I went back to going, like you said, going back to the job, going back to the traditional aspect of it, and just understand how the traditional, the corporate environment really works.
Right.
So now that I understand that familiarity, I now understand that I'm pretty familiar with it. And now I'm pursuing again the entrepreneurship. Right. And I love what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So what advice would you tell to people that is trying to do the same exact thing?
You know what? Go for it. Right now, AI has all the knowledge you need. All you need to do is understand those tools, and it can give you, because it has all the knowledge in the world now at the fingertips. All you got to do is ask it, what is it that I need to do? What are the specific steps? And it will respond back to you. And then you start saying, okay, what is it that I'm good at? Tell it, this is what I'm good at. This is what I like. AI can be able to respond to you, says, well, you know what? Based on what you like, maybe these are some recommendations. And then you you go for the next step. Okay, so based on your recommendations, I select this path. Tell me how to start a business. It will give you step by step. So that is sort of like an advisor that will transform your job, your business into being successful. And that's the opportunity that AI has right now.
And that is a perspective that we should look into. I know as an employee based or working in a traditional aspect of it, people are scared of it. People are nervous about AI. But in the business mindset, I think we're changing it up a little bit different because now we see unlimited information that we can get in just a small little prompt.
Right.
So like you just mentioned about the business, like, hey, how do you build a business? How do you do this? So that takes a lot of time of researching, reading articles, videos, and etc. Right? Now that you're moving forward into this, do you think the future of AI will be improving for business entrepreneurship? Do you think that might help for building new entrepreneurs? Or is it something that people are still going to be more in a traditional aspect of it?
It is going to fast forward your business because, again, it's going to give you whatever you ask for it. One thing is that you really do need to learn a little bit about what those tools are, right? At our company, Paleo Tech Group, that's what we do. We have done AI training, intro to AI, then we focus others on book and AI, and then everything else. Everything to help that individual, the Latino, to get into a business. And so what it does is as you progress and you start learning a little bit more about, what you want to do, it will give you that information. Again, I'm going to go back to give you that step by step so you don't have to worry about what should I do tomorrow. It's going to tell you if you ask it. One other thing is that if you remember when, the web was going several years ago when it first started, where it created a lot of entrepreneurs and it created a lot of millionaires. We are in that space right now, but with AI. So really, all you really need to do is get yourself a schedule, a 3-month schedule, put yourself down to where, okay, you know what? I want to learn a tool each week. It might even take you less than a week, but get that schedule going. And within those, once you have a good understanding of the tools, you'll start developing those questions to ask AI, and you'll start giving you specific day-to-day tasks so you can be a successful entrepreneur.
And from this perspective, I know we're talking about business and entrepreneurship and everything else. For everybody that is looking into building a business, should they implement AI as a tool as well? I know that we're using it right now for an informational, educational purpose.
Yeah.
But as a tool, do you think it's something recommended on their, let's say, like their computer, on their servers, or on their, for like, again, for like this coming out from the Latino base, we are in a Latino base that we're not too high tech in that industry. Do you think this products will be helpful for the Latinos as well? And then not just Latinos, everybody else.
Let me tell you, here's what I just heard a couple of days ago, that normally an employer would expect 40 hours of work to produce. And then one employee would produce 40 hours of work product. Now what they're saying is, because as an employer, you bring in your tools, right? Now the expectation is you're going to produce up to 140 hours of work product in that same 40-hour work week. So it is a no-brainer to introduce AI tools. Now, we're in the Cybersecurity Conference right now. You have to introduce those AI tools and secure it, because we have seen many small businesses where they bring in an AI tool without securing their data, and then unfortunately their data gets corrupted or there's some issues with it. But call, whoever you need to call to secure it, who's ever building that, make sure that they secure it. But let me tell you right now, if you're a small business and you're not looking into implementing some AI tools, you're probably going to be left out of a great opportunity and a tool that can really flourish your business.
Okay, great. Now that we're talking about AI, it seems like AI is going to be one of the biggest tools right now to utilize. I know we're talking a lot about AI, and I know that's like more of a buzzword right now, but I think for the entrepreneur base of it, I think it's one of the biggest tools. But for in a business entrepreneurship, I think it's a very helpful tool, very helpful. And now that we're talking about tools and everything else, about security tools, do you have any security tools or anything that you use personally? I know there's a lot of multiple LLMs, AIs. Is there anything that you might use? I've already heard about Claude, Cursor. Right now, the worst enemy right now is ChatGPT for a lot of people.
Right.
But what's your opinions about these AIs, right, and what type of AIs do you think you?
Well, they're tools, right? If you're a butcher, you know that if you have a really sharp knife, it could cut very nice your meat, but it can also cut your finger off, right? So that same tool can be useful, and then it could damage you, right? Because it could cut your finger off. That's the way you should look at these tools. Each of these tools, they have security options that all you do is just select them. So again, one thing I do recommend is when you are going to implement any AI tools into your company, into your business, make sure that they're secure. Go out and reach out to a cybersecurity person to ensure that those items are correct for your specific business.
Awesome. And for a lot of people that may not have those resources, who could they contact? Can they contact you as well?
Yeah. One of the things that I really do like is give to the community. Paleo Tech Group was brought up for the mission to go out and teach AI to the underserved community. That is our mission. And that's what we've been doing. And so we always give back. We're always open for questions, always open to come in, evaluate your business, and then give recommendations. So paleotechgroup.com, and our information is there. And definitely send you or get you connected to me directly. But definitely, we're here to help, because this opportunity doesn't come very often in our own lifetime. And that's part of really why I jumped into this opportunity.
Can you give me an explanation? What's your goal about Paleo Tech? It's Paleo Tech, right?
Yes.
Paleo Tech. Okay. The mission about Paleo Tech. What's the reason you started it? And what is the end mission? Pretty much, what is the thing that you're trying to help?
Yeah. So, my partner and I, one of the things that we did see or have seen is there's this major digital divide, they call it, or a gap, where you have the underserved community, the Latinos, African Americans, that group, that the digital information isn't going towards them. It's bypassing them. It's not even in some of these, communities. There's no such thing as, even the desktop in some of these homes. California is definitely opening up the digital divide or closing it by, having a network to just about every home. So now that they have that, our whole goal now was to go out and teach those individuals so they can excel and they can also be part of this opportunity that AI is bringing.
I want to ask you about this whole awesome event, as you can see in the background. Where are we at right now?
I remember when we were younger and we were out there and the farm workers, in the fields, there was always this one little area that was a focus point. That's where we're at right now, is that we're at a point where either we follow it and, ride or follow that road or stay behind. And or go on the other road and get left behind. So getting everybody into learning about this technology, learning about these tools would really fast track into whatever you want to do. Even in learning, they have said that if you use AI to help you learn something, you learn it 3 times quicker. If you don't learn these tools, you're definitely going to be left behind.
And what do you think about RSA today, the RSA 2026? Have you seen any cool booths here, anything that you like here, something you may implement in the future, or just getting curious? How do you like it today?
Well, you know what? I really am liking this. And the theme this year was we as a community. I'm not too sure. Power of the community. And at first I didn't really understand that. But after learning and going through the keynote speakers presentation, it is so drastic and so important that we learn how to safeguard our data, that no one can do it themselves. And no group or no organization can actually safeguard our data. It has to be a community, all of us, from, you, Efren, taking care of your data because your data is, or my data is on your data somehow, right? So then same thing. I get data from other individuals. I need to safeguard theirs. So it's more of a community effort. And that's, I think, at first, like I said, I didn't really understand what the power of community was. But I think that theme itself really resonates with me because now it's not just a one-person issue. It is everyone working together to ensure that our data is protected and safeguarded.
And I like the way you mentioned about the community base. It is true because this is my first time coming to the RSA, and I wasn't too sure what was going on and what to expect. And I noticed it's a huge community here of cybersecurity folks. So it's a huge community. It's great to have everybody here. And one more thing, how did you find me, man? Hi. Jorge, how'd you find me? That's just my curiosity. How'd you find me? You sent me a message, but I want to let you tell the story.
At this event, one of the things I'm doing is I'm a reporter for a Latino radio station in San Jose. And so I'm up at the media station. I'm doing a report today. And then I saw your note saying that you were at this event, at this conference. And then I looked at your bio on LinkedIn and I go, wow, we might have something in common. I'm new to the reporting and everything else. And I said, I might get some hints from you, your friend. And then that's when I reached out. And then you reached back and I go, oh. And then now we're here, you're interviewing me.
I know, right? It didn't take me, maybe 30 minutes was a max. So we both responded back. When I told everybody I will be on my LinkedIn responding, I told you guys I will. So,
And that's really where maybe the theme of this conference is, right? The power of community. And that's really what it is right now. I reached out to you, you reached out to me, we connected. You know, let's connect other Latinos, let's connect with other underserved communities, and let's bring them and let them know what is happening, not only with AI and also with cybersecurity.
yes, and I'm a huge advocate too on that. On the cybersecurity, Latino-based, I believe that Latinos should be also standing up on what we're doing right now. As we know, we're limited on technology, we're limited on knowledge, we're limited on resources, but it doesn't mean that has to stop you.
Right.
You can always find resources, especially how LinkedIn right now, you can connect with everybody. We just had that connection right away. We can connect, we can do research now, you can do AIs, the ChatGPTs, you can use multiple platforms to connect now. So if you're not able to connect, that's just an excuse.
Right, exactly.
That's just an excuse that you're not even trying because there's multiple resources now.
Exactly.
So for somebody that's trying to get into entrepreneurship or just any advice, it doesn't even have to be entrepreneurship, more traditional, educational.
Right.
What would you say to somebody?
Okay, so in cybersecurity, and this is a couple of months ago, but there was like about 30,000 opening jobs in California. That is a lot of open jobs in cybersecurity. Now you do need some, a framework. You do need to understand some information, but if you like this industry, which pays you very well once you get in it, it is a great opportunity. So that in itself. Now then you add learning AI, that's another opportunity that excels you into those high-paying salary jobs. Once you learn some of that, you can then transition into what we did, which is then entrepreneurship, which is it's not a big leap. There's steps to take. And each step that you're taking, you're just getting that knowledge, making sure you know it, you're continuing, you're building on that, not only on your knowledge, but on your network. I think there is nothing that's going to stop you. But I think is like we said before, right? Reach out, connect, and you got to hustle and you got to just get out there and do it.
Yes, that's very true. And I believe that entrepreneurship is a little easier than getting employed. Just for the reason being employed, you have to sell yourself multiple times.
Right.
And entrepreneurship, you do have to sell yourself, don't get me wrong. But it's just the difference about now you have the benefit of this is your job, your money, your success, not just someone else that you're doing. So again, the difference about entrepreneurship and traditional aspect of it, entrepreneurs are not scared. And if we are scared, we don't show it, we just do it. Is that correct?
And it is having the tenacity. And I think as Latinos, we have that because we get told so many times no, that it doesn't really bother us too much. We just continue on and move forward.
Well, thank you so much. This is Efren from the Wake Up X Solutions. And I got Jorge Avila. Thank you so much. How can they find you?
PaleoTechGroup.com. I'm also on LinkedIn, so connect with me. I can help as much as I can. If I can't help, I can definitely be able to connect you to somebody else that can get you started. Okay?
Awesome. And I know you're working at a radio station as well, doing articles. So I love to see those articles,
Okay.
and we'll be working on that too.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.